Well, but part of kind of, I think you celebrated the 35th anniversary last year. So does that idea of, and you mentioned kind of the influence or inspiration you give out, does the word legacy kind of come up when you start writing, or?
No, no. You just want the fire in your belly to be met. I think that's what it is. For me, that's what it works. It's a fire in my belly that that I've always had. I think it's important. That keeps the energy going.
And then, Joey, you mentioned kind of what you want to give the audience when you perform. So do you remember a show you went to when you were younger that kind of had that effect on you?
Oh, many things that I go to, I kind of pick and choose, and I know what I'm looking for, and hopefully I see it, and most times I do, you know. And that's the greatest thing when you get, I mean, I don't care if it's the staging, the lights,
okay,
you know, whatever the drummer's playing, you know, equipment, all that stuff is what gets me going, you know. It's not even just the music. I love all that stuff, you know.
But maybe one concert you went to when you were younger?
Even my first concert with Eric Clapton. I mean, God, I was in awe. I was 16 years old, you know, just to see him playing the guitar and go, God, this is cool and it sounds great. And
that's a good point, though. Eric Clapton. You know? Think about Eric Clapton. All the years he's been great and going forever, and still going strong, and still selling at arenas and writing relevant songs. I think that's important, you know. So that's a great inspiration right there. You know, from your first show,
and,
still doing great stuff.
Still follow anything you play, you know. So again, it's just one of those revolving things that we go through as musicians. We all like all kinds of different music, and it's just fun. You know, it's a really cool thing.
I think music is like a gift for people, for humans. I think we're lucky enough to play it and make a living, and we're very humbled and thankful for that. But I think for just people, humans, music is really a gift that we're given, that was created to make us feel good.
Yeah,
and I think that's
what you said earlier. You know, people come just to feel good about the songs and take away something different. You know.
But so when you become a professional musician, as you did, is that difficult? Where it's on the one hand, it's like you say, it's this visceral thing, but then the business side comes in as well.
Yeah, like everything else, the business sucks.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
When art and business get together, they're oil and water. They separate, right? And you have to learn how to really negotiate through the business to get to the art, right? It's really hard after a while, but after a while, I guess you get like a coldness to you. You have to. This is business. This is art. You have to separate them, but one has to work with the other. It does.
And finally, because well, when Among the Living first came out, there wasn't things like social media and the internet, and so being a professional musician in this day and age, is it very different than back then?
Oh, it's really different now. Geez, we can connect to home, and that's really one of the biggest things, right? I mean, or you could just entertain yourself in different ways and at least communicate. That's one of the bigger things for me, I guess. You know?
Yeah, thankfully with this technology where we can call our kids and stuff like that, and at home and talk to our wives, blah, blah, blah. On the other side, the music business is completely different. Illegal downloading killed the record sales. Killed it. Unless you're Adele. You know, but that's the truth, and you have to stay on the road as we do. We've always been on the road, but now there's so many bands, the only way they can make it go and make it work is to stay on the road now. That's just the way life is now, because they really haven't, the music business haven't figured out how to make money on records. And I mean, some people do, the big, you know, and even them, they're not even selling as much as they used to. But then there's always Adele.
But one thing I've noticed, and I might be wrong in this is just my own observation, but that especially metal and hard rock genres, they have very dedicated fans.
Thank God. Yeah.
So, yeah, how should I phrase this? How do you see your fans? Because there is obviously still a lot of artwork which pop albums don't really do that much with, and so do you try to give them that whole experience?
Of course, that's why you put out boxes and just B-sides on stuff. Look, at the end of the day, you do not forget who you are and where you came from. We're fans. And what would you want? You always put your mind and yourself in the perspective of, all right, what would I want if I was doing this? You know, if I was a fan, because we're still fans. You have to keep yourself centered, you know, and that's what's important. It really is. And I think we come from the fans' point of view. We're just the guys playing the music and writing the music. but we're still fans.
We want it too. We want copies.
Absolutely.
I want the albums and all the CDs.
They don't know that. They, you know, you put all this stuff out, right? All this great stuff, and you see it, and you see people show up with it. I don't have this.
I know. We just don't get it free either. We have to find it or ask somebody. Please, can I get a copy?
The record company's supposed to give it to us, but then
at least a couple, maybe.
Then we got to track down, you know, specifically Nuclear Blast. There's some stuff that I just saw the kid the other day had.
Oh yeah.
Like, where did this come from? I mean, it's true. This stuff happens.
Then you got to find a way to get it home too.
And then I got to find this. Please send it home because it'll get lost.
Sure,
see, touring life is great.
But finally, then, this very last question. But with For All Kings, what goes through your head when you first see the vinyl cover, or when you first have that tangible?
Oh, you debate the cover artwork and all that stuff right off the bat, right?
Here's what I think. Yeah, that's funny.
Is there a certain excitement, like you say?
No, but it's pretty awesome, especially now when you see a record. Now.
It's a proud moment.
We're still seeing albums, and like you get a little bit bigger picture of what it is versus that CD, but it's still awesome.
I tell you, man, you know what's lost now, and I see a little bit of a revival, and I hope it comes back. I used to love opening a record, a vinyl record for the packaging, and that's what I want to pass on to the younger generation. Get this fucking fly out of here. Not that. I want to pass along this whole thing that there's an experience when you open a vinyl record. You have this really great big square thing, this vinyl record that holds all this great, hopefully great music that you listen to. But it's an experience of putting that thing on a turntable and putting that on and looking at the liner notes and all that great stuff. Remember those great? I think that's a lost.
Even a CD now, people don't even put that on anymore.
Yeah, I just think it's so lost, and it's such a shame that experience of opening a record, or even a CD, just to see and listen to it, and then read in as you're listening to the music, and this damn fly won't leave. As you're listening, it's just such a great experience. I want people to have that.
You got to go online now and find out this stuff.
Because we were lucky enough to have that. I just think there was something missing. It was very personal. I remember going to my room, just putting on the record and just watching and just looking through. Remember Kiss Alive? I remember that kind of stuff.
You probably stared at that thing
You just stared at it, and you listen. It's like, wow, and it was so great, song after song, and it was like a story.
So the connection you have with that music will be different than when you go on Spotify and click on something.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, when you're on there, you don't even see anything, right?
There's nothing coming. There's no knowledge.
You might not even know who's on that song. It could be a remake with some other people.
I'm talking about that immediate vibe, you know,
for sure.
Spotify, then you have to look up somebody, you have to Google them, and then it's a process. But I'm saying what was so cool about it, you put it on, it's right there. It was packaging from the band, and you got it. It felt like a personal message from the band listening to their music. It's just a great. It was a great.
Somebody brought a tour book the other day of our tours that we used to do, and we're like, "Wow, that would be." I love those books. You know, like you know, it's like the whole the program of what we did.
It was fun. It was fun. So try to do that.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good.
That was good, man. Good job.
Thanks.